What is up, everybody? We are back after having a week off and me being sick yesterday. We finally decided to get back here. You're probably noticing that's not Goody. That's the first guy to answer my phone call. That's Scott Crump right there to help me join into this joyous occasion of being back for our 5th episode of Simply Racing Show podcast. We're excited, folks. We got a lot going on tonight. Like we always do, we're going to take a look back at COTA. You know, that track, most everyone spun themselves out or locked their tires up. We're going to take a look back at that, see how everyone did at that racetrack. We actually had a battle for the lead at a road course, so we're excited to be able to showcase that. Scott Crump has some teammates go for a win there, and after that, we're going to be taking a look at the gauntlet. We got Dustin Dewar going to be completing the gauntlet with me and Goody a little bit earlier in the week. Then we're going to take a look back take a look at some of the racing rigs of some of the elite drivers here in this into the elite series and see what people are racing on. You kind of see Scott Crump's wheel in front of them. Well, you're going to see some of the drivers' wheels from the other side, what they're looking at. And then we're going to look at the marbles race. Scott's going to help me announce some marbles race. How you feeling, Scott? Yeah, your first time here with me.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I think it would be a lot of fun tonight and go over a action-filled race that we had at COTA. It was pretty exciting. A lot of battles going on that definitely didn't catch throughout the pack all night. That would have been nice to catch everything, but I know you can't do it all. But yeah, it was racing going on that whole time. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I didn't get to announce it because I was out sick, but I went back and rewatched it. I'm sad I missed it because it was actually a really good road course racing. Of course, that's going to be debated against any driver in the back of the field that doesn't like road course racing. But as far as everybody in the front, it looked like it was some pretty good racing out there. Do a comment if you're watching this. You got something to say it to Scott? You know, maybe you didn't get to be able to say it in the racing real world. There, you can be able to comment. Let Scott or I know how you feel. Maybe we upset you when we go back and review some of these. Well, you're gonna have to join live and talk to us, or we're gonna just be talking about you, and you're not gonna have a word to say about it. But I don't know if you're ready, Scott. I sure am. I'm excited to get this going and seeing how COTA looked. All right, get over here, and we're gonna get started with taking a look at COTA here. Well, this was the start of the event here at COTA. Ethan Stanley, no surprise to anybody, gets pole and gets out to a little lead, but not too long. Yeah, cold tires.
This first corner.
Oh, overshoots it, and look who jumps out to the lead. Gavin Hibbs.
These next-gen cars on the cold tires are really hard to drive, and you just got to be really careful the first lap or so with them.
Careful does not happen in a few turns after the start.
That was
Gavin Hibbs.
I think Ethan got it under him, and then Chad got underneath Ethan, and it was just 3 wide going into that corner. It just wasn't going to work out for him.
Vincent Isabella gets involved in that as well. He gets turned around there. Then this happened just before this, so this was technically the first incident. Our Simply Racing podcast car went around there early on, but this is where it happened. Ethan Stanley goes to the inside, Gavin Hibbs up high, and then
Chad 3 wide.
Oh, no. Chad 3 wide is, I don't know. We're going to take a look at that again. I don't know. That kind of, looks a little rough. And then Vincent Isabella.
Sit there. He let the whole field go by.
Watch what happens here. He was nice, because he could have pulled right out in front of people, but right here, the 4 goes out a little wide.
4 got wide, came back and flipped Vincent, sent him around.
Vincent went around there. He started to pull back out. Yeah. So they didn't showcase it. Second race in a row where a person gets kicked that doesn't. I don't know if it was fully.
From what I know, it was accidental.
It was accidental, but race control accidentally kicked out Vincent and went to mute him, and instead they booted him, so he got booted off the racetrack.
Yeah, I was in the chat with him. He wasn't really happy at all. So
yeah, if you could believe it, yeah, I don't think he would be. I don't think I would be either. So unfortunate for Vincent there.
He just practiced for like an hour, and after the first turn, he gets booted from the race.
yeah.
But I think he did end up getting to keep his points where he was running. So I think that was okay move.
I think a tally against race control on that one is that was unfortunate. This is a little later on here. Literally the same lap, but at the end of the lap there.
Oh yeah, that seems to happen a lot. People getting loose on mid.
Not done yet. Goody goes and gets himself loose there too.
There was a lot of wheel spin on the exit with these cars, especially on the tighter corners.
Yeah, you see here Goodman gets loose and bam.
That was a pretty good save though.
Yeah, well,
once it gets sideways.
Save / gets hit by the 51 there. Here comes Gavel there, jumping to the inside of Chad Frankenfield. Chad Frankenfield was a little bit of a hard pass.
Yeah,
from what I'm hearing.
If you ran a consistent line, it was just so hard to pass people. You'll just sit there and ride behind them and hope they make a mistake. But if they just ran in front of you, didn't make any mistakes, it was just super hard to pass. You just had to be really patient.
So Chad held off quite a few people. Gavel there makes a quick move to get around him. Here's Talon going around once again, hitting the bump stops there. There's a lot of this. there's quite a bit of this. We're gonna see what happened here to.
I saw his bumper the whole race.
Oh really? You were behind him for a little bit.
Yeah.
This is what happened to Chris. This gets a couple people involved in this one.
Yep.
McMassey gets it. Oh, RC Anderson gets it. That was a driver I was quite surprised he was not running better than he was RC Anderson.
Yeah, I think starting in the back didn't help. I'm not sure if he just couldn't get a clean lap in or what happened to him in qualifying, but starting in the back really hurt.
Yeah, it did not help him. I mean, he did make up quite a few positions here, but here goes Adams once again in the Simpler Racing podcast. He is not known for being a road course racer. We're going to look to see.
So much. He talks about how much he loves it every single chance he gets.
Do not think you're telling the truth here, Scott. I think we'll see him do pretty well. Oh, in the fastest part of the track there. Those tires are dead for Nick Massey there. That was still early on. That happened a lot. That happened quite a bit. But yeah, a little later on here, you're going to see some more action. I mean, there was just nothing but incidents here.
I want to apologize to Johnny Thomas.
Oh.
That was me not trying to
so you didn't get to see any of this because it was behind you, Scott. But there was.
I missed a lot of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of beating and banging back there.
I had calls while we were going through some lappers, but other than that, it was a pretty clean race for me.
I showcased this part because this was a really good pass on Chad Frankenfield between these two drivers there. Nick Indelicato doing a really good job of being able to work around Chad Frankenfield, and that was just a really good battle between those two.
Yeah, if you can get on the outside of somebody in the corners, you could really hold them off if they try to pass you on the inside because you just couldn't get back in the throttle.
So a little bit later on there. Oh no! Oh, sits into the entry wall. Yeah, he got stuck there for a little bit there, and he started to get going. But that's not the last incident to the pit road wall that we'll see tonight. Oh, this is where it kind of got interesting. Ethan Stanley had
like an 8-second lead.
Yeah, this is where it started going downhill for Ethan Stanley.
Right there.
I mean, just locks them up, goes through the grass.
Yeah, and this is marked there. It won't even a lap car's fault.
No, he
wasn't paying
just
attention. He was trying to. I think he was looking at his fuel or something. We were talking about it. He was
now
checking
both of
on his
them come
fuel
down
and missed
pit
the mark.
road. This is very important here, Scott. Both of them come down pit road, but neither one of them takes tires.
Nope, neither one took tires. Oof. That was Robert Hill's nice paint scheme. It was backwards 6.
I don't know if you call it a nice paint scheme, but Robert Hill's paint something or another. Damn.
It doesn't
Oh.
look like the first thing he hit.
No, he got into a little bit there, here and there. But now we look back at that. Both of those drivers right there battling for the lead. They didn't take tires. Ethan Stanley locked those tires up right before pit stops and had burnt those tires up quite a bit. Here comes Gavel now trying to take over. This is kind of where the flip switch and Gavel started getting the speed, and Ethan Stanley started losing
he
a
was
little bit
putting
of
the
tire
pressure
life.
on and staying in Stanley's mirror just definitely put the pressure on him. Just made him kept on missing his corners, missing his marks.
And it just staying right on that back bumper is what it took. This is the first time we've seen Ethan Stanley having issues. Here's the first time that we've seen Ethan Stanley get past at a road course in my memory. Ethan Stanley jumps to the outside, locks him up
Locked it up,
again. Oh no. And then Ryan Gavel there takes it from the outside, but the battle's not done. You think, oh, the 01's going to be able to take it and just run off from here now.
Back again.
Yeah, you were going to see here a little bit later on. The battle's not done, is it, Scott?
No. It was a heck of a race between those two. Then you also had Fody, Burrell, Indicato. They had a heck of a battle going on. And
Oof.
then White, Crump, me, and Hibbs, we had a heck of a battle going on back there too. So it was tough.
There's a lot going on.
Yep.
You see it
Gavel
there.
corner right there.
Yep. Now the 01 loses it. Gets outside and goes out way too wide there, and then a pass puts Ethan Stanley back up front. But here it comes. 3 laps to go. He's back to battling again, trying to take a look underneath. Puts the 92 out wide, and then these two battle down that long straightaway on the back. And it is not over between these two as they start battling it. What great road course racing here. A very, very rare to see in Elite. We usually have someone run off from the field, but not tonight.
Yeah, I think it was they were being very respectful for one another because they're
Oh.
teammates. So if they weren't teammates, I think there would have been a little bit more rubbing and a lot more.
We would have
racing
seen a
cars.
Ross Chastain situation.
Somebody might have got moved off the track if they weren't teammates.
It came close. It came close a couple times here because they still bumped and
You almost
banged
gave him a
though.
bumper right there.
Yeah, I almost gave him a little bump out of the way. So 3 laps ago, Ryan was able to get back out front here. Oh, there's your teammate there leaving a comment.
Can maybe
There you
change
go.
this. Oh man, Gable loose.
Oh, last lap, the 92 tries it. Yeah, that was game over from that point. He gave it one last shot, I think.
I think really
That was
Ethan
over.
started pressing too hard and just kept on. When you press too hard, you just start locking up, and that was really hurting his corners. I think he just
Man.
backed up and put the pressure on Gavel, make him force a mistake instead of just pass him on raw speed.
Sorry, Ethan, but now the downhill climb for you. You've lost out on your road course prowess, and now what are you anymore? No, we know he'll come back strong at Phoenix here. But someone wanted to see what the shirt was. It says Campbell
What's on your
on the
shirt?
side. It says Campbell on the side. I don't know. I tried something new tonight. Trying to see if I can vibrate it up and everything. I lost my voice the last couple days, and I wanted to come back out here and lose it all over again for you folks, and just see what was out there. But it was a great race. The Huck car wins.
R1.
Yep, Huck car wins. Let's go ahead and take a look here at some of the very interesting results here, because there was a lot of interestingness to this.
You got to give a shout to Hibbs. I would like to see what he could do if he didn't get wrecked that first corner.
I mean, look, he
Second
came
or
back
third,
to
whatever it was.
8th after literally letting the whole field by
He
after
was
getting
back there all the
spun
way
around.
from RC, and he pulled away from RC. coming through the field.
Man, you are right. I would have loved to see how it would have looked out there. A couple other tidbits that I want to showcase. Look at the incident reports on this. Oh my gosh!
6 people over 100.
My God, people.
9 people. 9 people over 100.
If we had an X limit, I think we would have probably only had like maybe 5 people finish.
I
If
don't
we
think
had,
I had over 100 last season in Cup.
well, I mean, you helped your cause. Now, you weren't here at the start of the season, but I know you've watched it. We have what's called we're going to keep record and keep track of all the incident at the end of the season, and we're going to see who's the champion. It's the driver at the end of the season with the most incidents. Some of these people put themselves pretty high on that list. Our winner at 139 incidents was one of those drivers that put himself up high.
A lot of the incidents were on purpose, and then a lot of the other ones were just people missing their corners, running off the track. So,
man, let's give a round of applause to Joshua Clark. You know, people are going to remember a win. People are going to remember someone beating Ethan Stanley, but it goes down in history. 161 in one race. Joshua Clark.
Then you got to give
sets a record
for only having one incident.
One, yeah. Compare that to his teammate there of Josh for Matthew Weeks there with one incident report, but Joshua Clark, one. 139 rookie. Gotta give Joshua Clark, if he, I don't know what was he doing. He wasn't taking the same line as Ryan Gavel there.
I think those were mistakes.
Yeah, those maybe not have been on purpose, but 161 in one race is an elite record, and I gotta say, I don't know if anybody can beat that ever again. I don't think you can.
Look at the fastest laps. Ryan Gavel's fastest lap was 2:15.7.
Yeah.
I was faster than that, 2:14.5. But this is only on the clean laps.
I'm also looking at a lot of drivers that didn't get to set a lap.
They didn't even set a lap because they didn't even have a 0x in one lap.
They had an X on every single 100 or for all 37 laps. Got an X on every single one. Some of those were our top runners up there. Nick Indelicato, Ethan Burrell, Tyler Fody never set a lap. So don't know what their fast times were.
About some track limit changes or whatever, so people don't abuse it a little too much.
Just a little? Yeah, just a little? Just a little bit of abusing the system? 139? Matthew Weeks is sitting back there going like, what racetrack was I on? Dang. But yeah, like you were saying, a lot of other things to notate there. Biggest mover there was R.C. Anderson, but really, honestly, they would have probably gone to Gavin Hibbs with most passes. But
to calculate like the grand total of all the incident points.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to find out at the end of the season, who has the highest, and they'll get a little award that says they're the champion. But other things,
see who's leading that right now.
Probably Clark by a good bit. Yeah, I would have to say. So you can check for us there while I showcase a couple others.
Out front with 173 for the season so far.
Oh man!
And then you got Gavel and Robert Hill with 167. And then you got a good ways back to Ethan Stanley 135.
So it's getting there. It's becoming a really good points battle for the highest incidents at this point. But average running position 1.2 by Ethan Stanley. My goodness. Some other ones up there. Total passes. R.C. Anderson, we said that.
27 and 24. That's crazy good.
That's pretty good passes.
Pass on.
For 37 laps, it's not bad.
3. I wasn't passing anybody. I couldn't get around anybody.
Only 19 drivers finished on the lead lap, which is actually better than I thought it would be with 37 laps. But it quickly spread out there after you got out of the top 6. It went from sixth place driver Chad Frankenfield, 18 seconds behind, to 43 seconds behind Tate Lytle. So only about 30 seconds, enough time to go to the bathroom and still be able to come back on track and still get a good finish. But yeah, a lot of interesting things there. Now I know you're not a part of this the standings here, Scott, but just like everybody else at home can be able to view and be able to play along with us and everything. We keep track of like who we picked for the race, and then keep track of that throughout the season. Let's go ahead and take a look at see what the Simply Racing podcast crew, who they picked and where they ended up finishing out in points. Yeah, thanks a lot, Tate. Yeah, or not Tate, but David Tooker. You gave me 0 points there. That didn't help me. That didn't help me at all. So David Tooker didn't show up. Ethan Delicato. Yeah, Tooker probably would have gave me pretty good points, but nope. Chad Frankenfield 33, Ethan Stanley 40.
Nobody picked the winner.
Nobody picked the winner. Yeah, you're right. No one had any doubt that Ethan Stanley was going to win, and any
next road course we'll have somebody pick him.
Probably me, because I'm not picking David Tooker if he's not going to show up. So Ethan Burrell there, picked by Ethan Burrell. He got a good top 5 finish.
That's why nobody picked RC, because they didn't know if he was going to show up or not.
Look, the marbles even picked pretty good there with Seth Rawls. So that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. So that's where we had picked here. This is where we're at in the standings now. I'm dead last behind the marbles. That's wonderful. That's great. Ethan Burrell has nearly almost 3 times as many points as me already after 3 races? So that's going great for me. So Ethan Burrell with 110 points, Michael Goodman 88, tied with Johnny Thomas with 88, Jeff Green 76.
Name out of a hat at this point.
I should have just picked the marbles at this point, because the marbles have 62 and I have 41. So not great for me, but this is who we've picked now. Our next upcoming race in the Elite Series is going to be at Phoenix, a really awesome racetrack. I love Phoenix as a racetrack. It's a really
racing because it's real fun to race there.
It's really fun racetrack there. Scott Crump, I'm hoping you do really good because I picked you. That was before you joined me, didn't I? Yeah, you better get some laps in for me. You better show up to the dang thing because I'm going to be pissed.
The speed's going to be there, so just got to stay out of trouble. I'll be up there.
It's a fun racetrack, one where tire strategy could play a factor into it when you take your tires, because whenever it gets to a lot of restarts there at the end of these things, it gets a little crazy.
One thing I see, nobody picked Tyler Fode.
No one did pick Tyler Fode, did they? Now that's really strange because we made a rule where we're going to do the reverse, so that way people didn't pick Tyler Fode every single week, and then none of us picked Tyler Fode. So Michael Goodman picked Ethan Stanley, hoping for a bounce back for him after the road course. Jeff Green picked Ethan Burrell. John Thomas picked Matthew Weeks, and Ethan Burrell picked his ex-teammate there, Tate Lytle. Obviously, the marbles picks whoever wins.
Not on this list is probably Chris Wright. He usually runs pretty good at Phoenix, so don't be surprised to see them up there.
But I don't know how well he does with the Cup cars. He's really good there and like some other ones, but we'll have to see. Another good driver up there for all of them. David Tooker does really well there.
RC would be really good if he shows up.
RC is really good there. He's good on those long runs. Those long runs really start to affect the tires, and so that plays a factor in all that. Yeah, like I said, that was our picks there. Before we go on to the next thing, we wanted to go and take a look at the bracket. Starts back up again. They didn't want to do it for the road course because that would be skewed completely to some people's advantage. But the bracket's back. Yay, the bracket's back.
All right.
So this is where you pick out who you got to go up against. Well, you don't really get to pick. It's already predetermined. who's going to be eliminated. Who do you go up against?
I go against Brent Jones.
Brent Jones. Well, he's a guy that usually stays around for pretty long, so you got to make sure you don't get knocked out of the race.
Take care of my stuff and hopefully stay in the race.
Yeah, Brent Jones does a really good job of just lasting the entire race and avoiding a lot of stuff.
Caught up in a wreck and be taken out the race
very easily. Yeah, especially in that tri-oval area.
Yeah.
That's when stuff gets really crazy. And going into turn 1, yeah, there's usually a big wreck there. But Tyler Fode's going to go up against Robert Hill, Joshua Clark versus Justin Wadsworth, Chad Frankenfield versus Andrew Rucker. Oh, come on, Rucker. You could be a legend, Rucker. All you got to do is just got to do it one time.
I think Rucker has a good chance beating Chad there.
Yeah, well, I mean, he might.
Some long runs.
We might. Rucker has not been good for a little bit in the Cup car, so we'll have to see how he does there. Ryan Gavel there, our winner, going to be going up against Dustin Dewar, Ethan Stanley, Vincent Isabella. That's going to be a really good one.
Yeah, that's going to be
I think that one's going to be a sneaky pick between either one of those. That's another really good one.
So that's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's going to be rough for them. Justin Vandermeer versus Ryan Scholl. That's going to be a good one. Ethan Burrell versus Jeff Green. Teammates there as well. Jesse Racimus versus Michael Goodman. Chris Wright versus Justin Fortner.
That's going to be
David Tooker. Yeah, that is too. I think Chris Wright, like you said, if he can come on strong, we'll see how he does. Jonathan Cutlip versus Casey Hatch. What's up, Ethan? I see you there. Thank you for joining us. Robert Hill's already saying I'm out. I don't know if Tyler Fode, if he did what he did for me in the championship race, he might be all right. You just got to have hope.
Short track racing with elite, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Johnny Thomas versus Tate Lytle. That's another good one.
Matchup too, because Johnny likes to stay around, and be there at the end. So
this I think is the biggest one. Matthew Weeks versus R.C. Anderson, because I can see either one of them going all the way to the end because they're very consistent people, and they're going to be going up against each other in this round.
Toe-to-toe in the top 5.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really good one. Trey Holmes versus White Canado, another good one. So yeah. Keep a look at the bracket for the Cup Series race on Wednesday. It's going to be an interesting matchup within the race to see who's going to be able to battle it out and who's going to come on top of that. So keep a track of that. I know a lot of people have made their prior picks, kind of like the March Madness kind of thing with basketball. I put up $100 because I was like, ain't nobody gonna do this. Ain't nobody gonna get this. You could have 1,000 people, and I guarantee you nobody would get this 100%.
Probably fill out 100 of them each, and still wouldn't.
Still not gonna know because anybody on a certain week can be able to beat anybody. So, well, our next thing here is we're gonna go ahead and do a commercial break. Give my voice a little bit of a rest because I am still a little bit sick. And then we're going to go right to the gauntlet. This week, we've got Dustin Dewar, the Dragon. We're going to see how he is able to do it. Scott Crump is going to sit there with his fingers held really tightly that he is not the last driver. He's hoping that he is not the final guy on the bracket. He's been on the final podium or the final spot there, kind of like the kicking dog there on the bottom for a couple weeks now, and he's going to hope that Dustin Dewar meets an unfortunate wall or two, and we'll see how that goes as he answers our question at the Gauntlet, the Nürburgring. So don't miss a thing as we will take you to a commercial break and then go straight into the Gauntlet. Thank you, everybody. Stay viewing.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of BellyUp Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BellyUp, you will get 15% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
Hey guys, this is Hector from the Insert Name FC podcast, here to tell you guys about Canadips. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Canadips CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BellyUp20 at CanadipCBD.com. Once again, BellyUp20 at CanadipCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canadips for being a great partner of BellyUp Sports.
Once again, folks, joining us today to do the unthinkable, Dustin Dewar, the myth, the legend himself. Driver of the number 32 in the Elite Series for Do Good. Well, Dusty, if you're ready, we are as well. Let's get rolling, and let's see what kind of time you set on the gauntlet here. As Dustin is getting out there, we'll see if he can make it past the first turn. The last few drivers have had an issue there. I gave him a warning. That's your last and only warning, Dusty, of the 37,000 turns here at the Nürburgring. Yeah, he'll need it. Well, Dusty, you're an experienced driver of Elite. You've been around for a long time. One of the OGs, as they would say. Now, since the beginning to how the league is going at this point, how has the league grown in your experience, both as far as the drivers and how the league is ran in the Elite Series here?
Oh man, it's grown tenfold really since my first race out here. You know, the talent level itself is incredible from start to bottom. I mean, we're sending good drivers home sometimes on a weekly basis, and it's you know, that's why we choose a race in here. I've run in some other leagues and, you know, contended for a lot more wins and just generally ran better, but it's not that fun. And running with these elite guys is generally fun week in and week out.
Hey, buddy, longtime friend. We've been longtime friends. We've been around a while. Just let everyone know how you got into sim racing and how we kind of got Do Good started here.
Oh no.
So yeah, you were it's all really thanks to you, Goody. You were up my butt for quite a while to get on this iRacing system, and you always talked about it, and I was, you know, I'd get excited about it every time, but I never would pull the trigger and do it. And finally one day I said screw it and found an ad on Facebook Marketplace for a used gaming computer that I bought for like $175. Had a wheel and pedals I got from you. Oh boy, I hope I'm going the right way here.
Yeah, this is when it gets interesting on track.
And yeah, it was an old Microsoft Sidewinder, I believe, was the the wheel and pedal. And but yeah, my start comes from you, my friend.
Heck yeah.
I went from, you know, funny, oldie. I was running street stocks, and that was it when Goody says one day, he says, you want to come join this league? I just joined the Elite Series, and I'm like, boy, Goody. I said, I just got a C license. I can first start running trucks. I said, I don't know. And you were like, well, they need some guys right now, and they'll let you run. And
that's all it took?
That's all it took.
Suckers.
That's all it took for me to get running. Well, most people might not know that or know this about you or are aware of this, but you're a world champion horseshoe player. Man, if only that's how iRacing worked. You know, all the close calls and everything ended up with victories, but that's not how it works in iRacing. But give us a little bit of information about that horseshoe championship that you won.
Man, that was intense. You know, just being on a world stage and of any level is it can be quite intimidating, I think, to anybody. And going against the best of the best in your sport is always a thrill. but no, 3 grueling days of pitching horseshoes, about 200 and some odd shoes every day, whatever. And oh boy, keep her straight here.
Oh no! Hang on. Oh,
I'm all right.
Keep her going. Just like that, it fixes
Oh,
itself.
man, you got a good crew there.
How about
too
that?
bad.
Yeah, that
It's not
Dugan
as normal.
Motorsports pit crews, they're on
They're
top of their
fast at
stuff
work,
tonight.
yeah. Now, we make the race cars out of Play-Doh.
Amen for that. But no, it's a real thrill. I go to it every year for the most part. I'll be hopefully heading back to Kennewick, Washington, for the NHPA World Horseshoe Tournament in 2024. It's the best. It really is. I wish some of that skill could transfer over to simulation racing here, especially help out my road skills because they lack par quite a bit.
Hey, you're holding up pretty good. But nicknames. We all have some. Me, Goody here. But some of us are. I'm lucky enough to have one. But you seem to collect them like it's a hobby, Dusty. Tell us about some of them, Sugar Bear.
All right, well, Sugar Bear. Now that is quite the story. I was in a state penitentiary for a while, serving some hard time, and one of my cellies, good old boy from Chicago, he says, "I got a nickname for you, D." He called me D before that. He said, "I got a nickname for you, D, a new one." He goes, "You're gonna be the Sugar Bear." I said, "The Sugar Bear?" And we called him Snoop. So I'm like, "The Sugar Bear, Snoop? What do you mean? How do you get the Sugar Bear?" He's like, "Well, every night before you go to bed, you have yourself a sweet snack, and you snore like a little teddy bear." He says, "I'm gonna call you the Sugar Bear." And then, so there's that.
That's a story I would tell too, Dusty.
I mean, if you lived it, you got to share it, right?
Right.
What would people think of me otherwise?
Right, exactly.
There you go.
And then as I moved into, just as I about started racing in Elite, got the nickname the Dragon. And boy, she carried with me, Dustin the Dragon Doer. It just rolls off your tongue like sweet butter, doesn't it? Yeah, the Dragon now, the Dragon's, he's a real beast deep inside. He might not show it on the racetrack week in, week out, but funny thing, how I got that name, though, is one of my buddies plays in the stock market, and this was during COVID, so the world was on a roller coaster, but there was a lot of money to be made, and I would stay up at nights studying the stock market charts, and I was planning on getting in myself and making some big money, but that's another story. Anyways, I called a prediction on a stock, and it made him $50,000 in about 20 minutes. And he says, "You're a effing dragon. You're an effing dragon." And I'm like, I kind of like that. And it's
Just
stuck ever
stuck from there.
since.
Well, Elite has a lot of characters. Maybe the broadcast doesn't show all of them during the race. So from Dusty's point of view, I want you to tell us some of the drivers that don't get talked about. And, racing, all through the pack and everything. How about you go and tell us some of the drivers that don't get talked about back there that maybe should get some eyes, what it's like driving against some of them.
All right, way to put me on the spot here.
Well,
there's
you are
a lot of
going 20
guys
miles
back
per
there,
hour.
if you're not up front, chances are you're gonna miss a little bit of the TV time, and that's why you want to be at up front, because that's where the cameras are. But you got guys back there like Joshua Personette, who Josh is a really good guy, but he'll race you hard. Races me hard, at least. That probably goes both ways, though. I'm sure at some point.
Oh!
I've rubbed elbows with a lot of guys learning this, and so some things might go back and forth. I don't really know. I tend to move on and forget. Other guys back there, Scott Haney. I'm a good old boy. Gotta love Scott Haney, a Southern boy. He races for Do Good Motorsports. Doesn't make a lot of starts these days at the Cup level, but he loves being out here every chance he gets, and he's just slick Scott. You know, go out there, run smooth laps, and always bring the car home. Even Goody, you know, joining you in the booth there, the co-host tonight. He doesn't always get a lot of TV time, and he's a well-liked individual out there. Nobody really has trouble with Goody. Maybe Tate. That's a story for another day, I guess.
Well, Michael, I think you have one more question for him here.
Yeah, I do have one more question. Who was the last rival in Elite that you had that you just always seem to get involved in wrecks with?
Well, this might go between two leagues, but I'd have to say David Westergreen. I had a real rough summer racing with him where it seemed like every week we were in each other's way, and it wasn't a lot of fun. It was frustrating both of us. I'd say that's the real, you know, real last rivalry I really remember. There's been a lot, and honestly, I forgot about him.
Well, that's fine. We're getting to the fast part, so we got to get to the fast questions here. I want you to answer these as quickly as possible as you get through the gears here as fast as part of the track. Real quick, comes out of your mind, dream scenario or first Elite win?
Charlotte, Coke 600.
What Elite driver not on Do Good would you want to be trapped in an escape room with?
In an escape room, let's go with Matthew Weeks.
Wood. That's it. That's the question. Wood.
Sawmill.
Most memorable Elite or Cup moment?
Ooh, there's not many. Huh.
Well, that's good. All right,
winning the it wasn't a points paying race, but winning the Stella fundraiser that Zach Evans put on one year. It was a plate race, but brought her home there and was able to donate a lot of money to the charity that night. So that's definitely right up there.
All right, last one. Hey, Sugar Bear.
Hey, what up?
How you doing?
Oh, you know, just some making laps.
Well, Dusty, I think that's the last we can do. He's already crossed the line, Goody. We spent a little bit too much time. We could spend a lot of time talking to Dusty, one of those guys that you could talk to for quite a long time, lose track of time. But you've already completed the gauntlet here, Dusty. We want to go ahead and give you the shout out. I know it wasn't the easiest of times, maybe a little rough at some points of the track, but we want to go ahead and let you do thank yous and shout outs to your team, to people that maybe watch, or maybe people that maybe you haven't been able to thank for your experience in Elite.
Yeah, big shout out to JD's Hilltop Salvage, my dad. He watches every race, every minute of what we do. Miss Goodies, home of the famous hooded towels. If y'all haven't got your hooded towel today, you need to get one because they're one of the hottest things there is out there, and your kids will love them, you'll love them. Everyone loves the hooded towels. You can find her on Facebook, Miss Goodies. Memory Lanes, Miss Randy out there, but they've been on board a long time. The NHPA, the National Horseshoe Pitching Association, get out and pitch horseshoes today, America. Home Plate Beer, they've been around in this league for a long time. Really good company. A potential new sponsor coming on board for the Elite Cup Series. Infinity Taekwondo. Y'all be on the lookout for them out there. And, you know, the team, love you guys. Couldn't do this without you. Wouldn't do this without you. And you guys up in the booth, thanks for putting this on for us and letting our fans enjoy this.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Dusty, for joining us.
What was my lap time?
I don't know yet. We'll get to that here when we get back into the booth here. But we'll find that out. Thank you, Dusty, for completing the gauntlet here. We're gonna go back up to the booth and we'll find out, Dusty, what your lap time was here. But thank you again, and hopefully you get your time to shine in the front of the elite field here before it's too long. And get that win locked in. Like horseshoes,
It's coming. It's happening.
It's happening.
It is.
you try enough times, eventually you'll hit the posts. But other than that,
Blind chicken
Dusty,
finds some food once in a while.
all right, you've had your time. Thank you again, Dusty, as we get it back up to the booth. Let's see what his time was. Well, that was Dustin Dura there. And you're probably wondering, that last little question was a little bit weird. I meant to have a voice changer on to make it very deep, and it just came off very creepy instead. So sorry about that to everyone that had to hear me called Dusty Sugar Bear in my normal voice. It's for private only. Sorry about that. But let's go ahead and see, Scott. We'll see how he did. I know you're hoping
think I
for one
beat him.
thing. Oh,
Just barely. Just barely.
by less than 2 seconds, you beat him. Wow.
I was
To
going
go
really
around,
slow.
you were going very slow, Scott. You were going very
He
slow,
spun out like 3 times.
and he still nearly beat you.
I think I only spun out once.
Yeah, you were in like third gear when it was fifth gear time, and you're going so slow.
I was in
So
fifth gear.
yeah,
Maybe high throttle, but I was 5th gear.
okay, whatever you want to tell yourself, man. You were slow, but you're not last anymore. Yay! Scott has gotten off of the bottom of the caboose
I'm
there.
gonna have to redeem myself at some point.
Yeah. Well, rain's coming out, so we may end up having like a rain race in stock cars where people can be able to come out off of that. But yeah, there you go. Thank you, Dusty, for joining us for that. That was awesome to have him on there. Good friend of mine, Dustin Dewar there, and
He's a heck of a guy. Be
oh,
pretty
he's
good hang
he's.
out with, party
fun.
with. So I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure he's got plenty of stories to tell.
I think didn't you pick him to be like if you were on a
Oh yeah,
bus?
yeah, I definitely picked him.
You didn't pick me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. That didn't hurt my feelings.
Only had 3 out of 60 people on Elite to pick from. So
That's fine. Dusty's I would get out of the bus for him. He's a fun guy. So that was Dustin Dewar there, his time. Let's go ahead and our next part here that we're going to take a look at. We're going to take a look at some of the racing rigs that some of the people in Elite have. I think it's just interesting to kind of get an idea. As far as what your competition has. We don't have like engines. Yeah, we don't have like engines to tune up, or we don't have like real race cars to go over and look at and say, "Oh man, you guys got a pretty good looking car there." No, we have racing rigs at home. I'm sitting at mine. Scott's got his right in front of him there. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of them here. First one up, Mark Murphy's. It's a little hard to see.
Nice one.
Triple screen, very clean, very nice. Look at that wheel.
Fighting Irish sign up there.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice wheel. That's nice. Triple monitor screen. Very, very classic, very classy.
Very clean.
Nice.
Nice
Yeah.
setup.
Clean house. Not everyone has that we'll showcase, but overall clean house for Mark Murphy. Very nice, Mark. I like that. Just don't boot people off of the racing, in the race. When you're race control,
box or something. That way
he needs a button box, all that, and he doesn't have a button box, and Vincent Isabella gets kicked out early. But we joke, Mark. Please don't get angry and kick me out of a race. But we're gonna go on to the next person here, Tate Lytle.
Ooh.
Jeez,
He's got some money in that
Louise, come on, Tate. Gosh, dang.
I wish you had he had a picture of his previous rig, and it's a heck of an upgrade from what he had before.
Yeah, it wasn't very nice.
I think he just had like a regular desk chair, and
I think he has the exact same racing seat as I do, but dang, he went heavy duty metal there. That hurricane can happen, and it's not going to shake his rig at all. So wow, Tate Lytle, that's pretty nice. Why do you got to be so angry though? Seriously. All right, next person here that we got up here, Matthew Weeks. Yeah, Yang. If you could zoom in, please.
Yeah, I don't think you want to zoom on that.
We would not be monetized, I think, on YouTube with some of the stuff that Matthew Weeks has on his setup. That guy went for comfort, self-comfort. Definitely not showcasing that to nobody. It's not like, come on over on my racing rig.
I think he likes to feel good when he races.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, there's a few things. Yeah, he's got. I mean, we can see the monster, but there's a few other things if you zoom in. That's three chai
would like a racing chair, or is that just a normal like gaming chair?
That is not a racing chair, man. I don't give that guy any credit. It's not a racing chair. I appreciate Matthew Weeks showcasing. He's got a nice wheel. He's got a really nice wheel there. Yeah. So I mean, at least he's got the priority straights there. He's got his PS4 controller or PS5 controller there. So yeah, he's got some nice stuff there. But man, just clean it a little bit there. Next person, I think the final one we have is our own Jordan Owens. I got you. Actually, no, I got one more after this. Jordan Owens. Nice that's right really nice. That's I like Tate Lytle's,
and then the extra monitor above for.
I like Tate's, but this is Jordan Owens' setup is very nice.
I think Tate's it wasn't finished yet. He was just setting that one up.
Well, do this, Tate. Do this because that's pretty cool. He's got two different wheels. He's got a wheel for road courses up at the on the wall there, and one for ovals there. But yeah, that's a really nice setup. But why so much ass sweat? The seat is wet, man. What? Did you do that after Coda?
A lot of elite races in that week.
There's a lot of elite racing sweat there, man. Yeah, cool it. Maybe get some fans on in the house and cool it. But I mean, nice setup. I mean, that's yeah, that one's pretty. I'm pretty envious of. I mean, that's probably
one of the
nicest.
A lot better than my setups.
Well, let's go ahead and see your setup here,
Mr. Do-it-yourself setup made out of wood.
Mr. Crump. Let me go ahead and delete one of these here, and then I could pull yours up here. Yours is not bad. It's got a lot of LED lights for my taste, but not too bad. I like LED lights. I got some too. You've got a lot.
Yeah, my rig was probably a few $1,000s cheaper.
A few $1,000s cheaper than this one. Maybe just a little bit. There you go.
There you go. I got the LED light.
You got it LED'd out, man. You ain't gonna lose a quarter on that ground at all.
I took a whole car and just ripped the tear out of it and just put stuff out there, and it's just made out of 2x4s and desk and.
That's not. Hey, I'm surprised actually. That doesn't even look like a self-made rig. That's pretty nice there. You got to get one of those swinging for your laptop keys there, man.
Yeah,
and just have it sitting there.
For that. It's not
just
too
buy a or whatever. I ain't gonna tell you.
I'll probably just make it if I was going to do something.
All right, IKEA. I get you. That's not too bad. I like that. That's very clean too. We'll see. Maybe if more people want to submit some more into me, I can do it again for next week. Get some more rigs to pull up. I think it's just kind of really cool.
People see what everybody runs on. So
yeah, I think it's just kind of cool because it's kind of like our own. Like we're so familiar with our own rigs that just kind of getting an idea what other people like. You race on one screen. Like one. I don't know how you do that, man. It
definitely hurts at some point because when you're beside somebody, you really can't see them. It's just all about feeling them beside you and stuff like that. So it makes it difficult. I wish I had triple screens. I don't know. Maybe at some point I might upgrade to triple screens at some point. So
we'll see I think for next time, I see Ethan Stanley wants to submit his, so his is probably going to be on like I don't know, probably make me cry.
Maybe I'll
easy
put
setup.
GoFundMe for a sim rig.
Oh, yeah. We'll put that right on the bottom. If you feel really bad for Scott Crump winning all the time in Elite, you can go ahead and donate to making him faster. You're going to get a lot of support. But maybe I'll submit mine because I put a lot of pride in my sim rig too. So, well, hopefully maybe we'll get some more people wanting to submit their sim rigs in, kind of showcase our own talent and of what we've got and everything. This was a good, easy way to first few to showcase. So really, really cool to see that. But I know Ethan Stanley says he's got a G29 on a desk. I mean,
Yeah, I
at
think
least
at
it's
some
not.
point earlier this year we were talking. I think he was looking to upgrade his G29. I think he tried, but I think he went back to his G29. I think he liked that more.
Don't upgrade, man. You're already fast. People that are fast and then upgrade just doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, well, see Tate Lytle, he hasn't won in a cup race in a while, and he just upgraded. So yes, Ethan Stanley, we need you to go ahead and upgrade for everybody. So yeah, go ahead and do that for us. Well, we got one final thing, folks. We're at the end of the show, and you know what that means? It's marble racing for Phoenix. You can take it as a good thing. You can take it as a bad thing. If you win or you lose or whatever you want it to be. But we're going to, Scott and I are going to kind of showcase. I'm running out of like small circle tracks. So this one was a little bit bigger. So I tried. All right. It's a marble race. Don't critique my editing skills of trying to follow marbles. But we're going to see the marbles as they go around this track. And whoever wins is going to be the marbles pick for Phoenix here. So if you're ready, Scott, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and get this final part here done for us. And boom, we're right there. This is
we got Goodman
the start of it. Yeah, Goodman's starting up front, isn't he?
Tucker. Jeff Green's up there.
David Tucker takes an early lead. Everyone's bunched up really tight in this course here.
Oh, yeah.
This one goes a little bit farther than some of those circle tracks, so it takes a little bit longer. But look at Michael Goodman. Good. He's always good at these marble races, but he's back in 44th in points. So maybe he doesn't want to be good. Maybe you don't want to be up front. Maybe it's not good to be. This is me learning the controls here, so forgive me, folks, as I try to follow these marbles. They're faster than the helicopter.
Nick Massey.
Tate Lytle up front. David Tucker. Yeah, we got a few drivers up there.
Oh,
this is a big track for Phoenix. This is exactly what Phoenix looks like. Okay. David Tucker out front. There. Nick Massey now is up there. That's a really good driver. Actually, I never know if I want it to be the driver that might actually win Phoenix or a driver that I know is going to have the worst luck. But right now, David Tucker, if he doesn't show up for Phoenix, this is a really good pick for worst luck, I guess. So they just completed lap 1 there, so that gives you kind of a idea of the course size here. It's pretty large.
How many laps
David Tucker now? 5 laps is how we normally do it. David Tucker's still doing a really good job. He's kind of been holding him off. He's got him 5 wide right behind him. See, I thought about doing like I could do a 500 lap marbles race, and I could just like leave it live and leave it for everybody to watch one day.
I don't think anybody would watch that.
No.
No.
I don't know. There's the marbles are somewhat of a fan favorite. Looks like David Tucker.
Up front. Yeah. Oh, got Harrison Talent up there.
The Ryan Gavel marbles pretty junk.
The Ryan Gravel.
Gravel. Yeah, Gavel. Whatever. David Tucker, look at that. You got Leighton Norgard up there, Ethan Burrell. Ethan Burrell now into third. A lot of Pro Edge.
Oh.
Where's Blake Norman?
You spelled
Ryan's
name wrong. That's what he was talking about on the
marble. Oh, well, I don't care who that guy is. He doesn't win anything, right?
Yeah.
It's not a road course, so what does it matter? Leighton Norgard now up front. He's one to actually watch. I think he's actually pretty good at Phoenix. So if Leighton Norgard wins this thing, that's not a bad pick. Leighton Norgard's not
started
bad.
off a little slow this year. He's had some bad luck, kind of a couple wrecks early on.
I think he did pretty well in trucks at Phoenix. So you may see him running pretty well. Here comes Joshua Clark, Mr. 161, up to second there.
You got Mark Rabolas. I think you spelled his name wrong too.
Did I spell that one? Okay. Well, you know what? It's marbles. I'll go back and fix it later. I think he'll be happy if he wins regardless. Here
Tate
comes
out front.
Tate out front. That's not a bad pick either.
He's dropped to 7th now. So
He's dropped back. I haven't seen you at all, or any
I'm
of your
somewhere in the
teammates
back.
really.
yeah,
I see you.
I'm way in the back. I'm right there with Ethan.
You're not doing very well. Lap 4. We got 2 laps left to go in the marble race. Tate Lytle right now in front of Mark Rabilis. I can say his name right at least. Ethan Burrell up to 3rd there. He's having a good run.
It's not a whole lot of movement through the field here.
It's not as much. It's more of a road course, you know. I should have probably ran this one for the road course because there's not as much movement, but there is still movement being made.
He's trying to pull away a little bit.
I mean, this is probably the biggest lead that we've seen. Oh, no, he lost it.
Got a little
Never mind.
momentum right there,
Uh-oh. Here comes Leighton Norgard back in front of him. Ethan Burrell now takes the lead. What'd you say? There was not a lot of
watch out,
movement?
Here comes Chad.
Oh,
Chad's on
gosh.
the move.
Chad gonna make it 3 wide. He's in 5th.
That looks
He's in
about like
5th.
20 wide.
It is very tight. They're not spacing out very much in this track. Not as much as they did in the other tracks. This is very tight. They're all right on top of each other.
I think I'm somewhere in the middle now.
That makes you feel better. I didn't put my name into these things. Ethan Burrell is going to be leading it here on the final lap. Leighton Norgard right on his back bum. Harris Talon out of nowhere up to 3rd.
Let's see if Harry can win this one.
That'd be interesting. He said his luck has been horrible since he won that dual race. It went downhill for him.
It is?
That's what he says.
Oh, okay.
Harrison Talon now up to 2nd. Oh, up to 1st. Harrison Talon takes the lead. Harry's going to lead now in front of Ethan Burrell. Tate Lytle still 3rd, comes back. Chad's back up to 5th there. Tate Lytle drops down to 4th. Ethan Burrell takes the lead now. This is the last lap. It's coming to the end. It's pretty tight. I don't know.
Let's go.
Ethan Burrell
hold
still
him off
leading
here.
it here. Right behind him, Mark Rabilis.
Two more
Whatever.
corners.
Last turn. Then it comes to the long straightaway. Ethan Burrell, he's got a little bit of a lead. Yeah, he's got just a little bit of a lead here.
I think Ethan's
Coming to the
got it.
backstretch.
Looks like Ethan's going to get it.
Oh, man. That would not be a bad pick for Phoenix. Not a bad pick at all.
Nope.
Here they come to the line. Oh, Ethan's got it
Oh, yeah.
by a
Ethan's
mile.
got it. Ethan, Mark, Harry, Tate.
If that's the top 3 finish at Phoenix, that's going to be an interesting finish. Ethan Burrell, congratulations. You won a marbles race. We have not had a repeat marbles race winner so far. Ethan Burrell won it there, so Ethan Burrell is now going to have to win Phoenix.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to make up some ground on your points there on that one.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do, but Ethan's going to be
I'm
tough match.
I don't think I'm gonna be. I mean, unless something happens to Ethan, I have all the faith in you, Scott. I picked you,
Hopefully I can gain a few for you, at least.
but I think the marbles is gonna stay in front of me for another week to make me look really stupid. So that would be great. So again, thank you, Tate or David Tooker, for not racing and making me last in the point standings. But yeah, that was fun. That was fun, Scott. Thank you for joining me here tonight.
I
know
appreciate
this
you
isn't
having me
the
tonight. Jumped on here last second to help
last
you out,
second.
but
Yeah, you did great.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, you did great. You did a really good job there. So I appreciate you joining me. We do these things every. I know you tune in a lot and you like to comment there. We love people commenting and letting their voices be known in this. Because again, this is for elite. This is for all the drivers. We want them in here, letting
Yes,
everyone know
it's
how they
awesome
feel.
what we do for elite. So getting everybody involved is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
I like seeing the different people and what they're all about. So uh, yeah, so tune in next week. After Phoenix, hopefully I'll be the winner there for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that'd be good for me. That'd be good for me in the point standings there. But yeah, thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to Belly Up for allowing us to be on here. The Simply Racing Show podcast already on episode 5. Next week is going to be episode 6. We try to do these things on Thursdays. As long as I'm still not sick, I will be here. We appreciate everyone for joining in to us. I think Jeff Green's going to be joining me for that one. I don't have anyone yet picked for the gauntlet, so check your DMs in case if I message you to see if you want to try out the gauntlet. But we appreciate everyone joining us
I
here
want to
tonight.
get last week's winner on there. See if Gabe will
Yeah,
get
if I can say his name right, I get plenty of practice, right?
it. Maybe he'll
So
teach
we'll-
you how to say it.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for those really good road course drivers. I want to, if you've won in the last couple years, we're road course racing, to make you have to do it in the rain. I think just to make it fair.
There you
'Cause
go.
I don't,
There you go.
I don't think it's fair if some of these really good road course drivers, and that's on him for winning last week. So, he would have had a really good shot there. He said, "Put me in, coach." So we'll see. I'll check. I'll check and see what we got on the schedule. I really want to try to put some of the really fast guys in an uncomfortable situation. That's the whole point of the gauntlet, is to make it uncomfortable. Some of you guys look too comfortable out there on the road courses. But thank you again, Scott. Thank you to everyone. We're going to go ahead and head off tonight. We'll be back next Thursday
Thanks for having
at
me.
8 p.m. Yep, thank you. And if you want, just tune in to us either on the YouTubes, join us on Twitter, on the Simply or on the Belly Up Gaming Twitter page. There, you see the link right there. Join us there, where we always try to keep in touch and put little things out for people to interact with us. Thank you again. Have yourself a wonderful night, and we're going to call it a night for tonight, folks. Thank you again.